What's up, you guys? So I actually just finished recording another video, and in that video I specifically said that I would actually do another video because I was kind of in the mood to record and to talk and to articulate my words in a way that is palatable for the audience, because I don't always feel in the mood. So seeing how I am, I was like, let me just crank out another video. Wait, before I actually start talking, let me show you guys my little floor down here. I don't know if I've shown that thus far. I feel like I did show the room, but I love this. It's so cool. So cool. Let me see if there's anything going on outside. Likely not, but you can always take a video of everything. It's so pretty out here. But yeah, so there's starting to be a lot more people here, which normally to me would be perfectly fine, but it's actually starting to make me uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I didn't realize the clip was off. Well, yeah, like I was saying, there's starting to be a lot more people here, which is kind of making me uncomfortable because it's COVID. It's like, not even that it's a lot of people, it's just the amount of, it's like the proximity or the lack thereof. Like, it's like, okay, it's too many of us here, and they don't require us to wear masks. I think it's because we already take COVID tests to even be able to fly here, so they expect that we would still be in good standing upon not only arriving to the island, but then arriving to the actual resort, or arriving to the airport and then arriving to the actual resort. But it's like anything could have happened in that time, and I don't wish that upon anyone because that would require them to have to quarantine for 14 days. But it's just like, in regards to just social distancing and trying to just do my part so that the universe can render me back what it is that I'm putting out, which is I need a negative COVID test in order to leave this island with no hassle, no issues. Like, period. That's a necessity. But yeah, it's starting to be a lot more people, and I'm like, people are beautiful. Love it, love them. But I ain't got time. No time at all. It's COVID. It's COVID. I don't want no dealings. The only people I deal with are the people that work here. And that's because quite naturally they're assisting me. They're providing me my food. They're providing me, my drinks and refilling my drinks and making sure that I'm, good to go in regards to answering questions and cleaning my room. Like, I deal with those people, but they wear masks. And if some of them happen to maybe come up to me, because they're so kind, so that sometimes they kind of will just come up to you. If they happen to like come up to me, I'll like put my mask on, and it's no offense to them, but it's just like somebody needs to be protected. I don't care if I took a COVID test. I don't care if you take one every day. I have been conditioned, as has the rest of the world, with this whole social distancing, and so now I naturally want like a barrier between me and the masses. Nothing wrong with that. Better safe than sorry, and it protects me and them, which is to me like as good as it's gonna get. But yeah, so today is my third day here. I have 3 days left, that being 2 full days, and then the third day I'll be leaving around 3 p.m. So I'll likely wake up around 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and then I'll still be here till 3 p.m. So I honestly kind of consider that like still to be a full day, because I'll still be able to enjoy the room for at least another 6 to 8 hours in between that window, depending on how frequently I leave, how early I actually wake up, and how soon I actually decide to depart from the room. So I'm trying to figure out how to utilize that time because, yeah, I'm just not 100% sure that I know how I will. I know I'm going to be doing some journaling, which I'm excited about. I'm actually going to go outside in a little bit once the sun kind of goes down a little bit and do journaling that way. But yeah, that is that. I'll be taking the seaplane back to the airport, or actually I'll take the seaplane back to the location that I caught it at, and then they will then transport me from that location back to the airport. So it'll be good to go. I'm excited. This has been such a beautiful experience, to be honest, and I think that now is what better time than now to use this moment to just express my gratitude. Like, I've had a few people tell me that, like, they would be way too freaked out to come to the Maldives alone like I have. Especially considering the fact that the Maldives is really comprised of a bunch of little islands, like hundreds of mini islands that have their own resorts on the islands, and that's it. And the only way that you can actually arrive to one of the islands is through means of sea boat, or a boat, a speedboat, or some form of a boat, or a seaplane. I ended up selecting the seaplane, not because I wanted to pay the price, but because I knew that I wouldn't be able to stomach a 90-minute boat ride. Like, I would get way too seasick, and that would just ruin my whole experience. So I was willing to pay more money to get to my resort sooner. And in the midst of me being transported on seaplane to come here, there was a moment when I just like looked down at the water and I got like emotional, because I'm the type of person, where there is beauty, there is God. And I believe in God wholeheartedly. So where there is beauty, there's God. And just to be in the air and to be able to see these mini resorts, and beyond the resorts, to be able to see the water, like almost functioning in its proper capacity. Now, let me elaborate when I say that. To me, water is meant to, water obviously moves with the motion. It kind of goes with the weight of whatever's going on, meaning that, like, if it's storming, water might be a little more abrupt, or if it's the winds are high, the water might be a little more rushed. And for these mini islands to be isolated the way that they are, the water really has to operate and function in its proper capacity, from my perspective, in order for people like me who are in the middle of the ocean. Literally, I'm in the middle of the ocean on a resort. In order for people like me to enjoy this and to have a safe experience, the water has to be still. Because say, for instance, if the water decided out of nowhere to kind of rush up on the island, we're out of here. Like, we're wiped out. And because I have an overwater bungalow, your girl gonna be first to get clipped. And so I'm saying that to say, like, to me, everything falls into place the way that it's supposed to. And so when I was riding in the seaplane and I seen the water and I seen the little resorts, and I just knew and could only imagine that the people were having a beautiful time. And it's like timing makes so much sense, and timing is perfect for everything. Because if the water was acting up, not only would that have impact, that would have had a direct correlation to the winds and the clouds, but that would have impacted my flight and my commute, as well as the people on the ground. So I just got emotional, because I understand that, like, 2 + 2 = 4, meaning that all things have to come together in order for something to work out well. A bunch of things have to even come together in order for something to go wrong. But either way, regardless of how the tide turns or how the table turns, it's God's will. That's how I see it. And so I became emotional, because I was just thinking, like, all of the things that had to work together in order for my flight to have made it to where it was. Like, when I left Chicago and arrived to Doha, that was a 14-hour flight. When I was at the airport in Doha, and then for like 9 hours, and then I got on my next flight. That was like a 4.5, almost 5-hour long flight. Well, actually, it was more like 4 hours from Doha to Malé, which is the airport in the Maldives. And it's just like, when you think about the fact that sometimes things happen in these instances, it's just like the work of God, the magic of God. And even just beyond that point, knowing that, like, because at one point when I was crossing the water, past the water in the seaplane, I thought about the Bible and how it talked about how God parted the Red Sea for Moses when he freed the Egyptians from slavery. Was it the Egyptians or was it the Israelites? I think he freed the Israelites from being under bondage under the authority of the Egyptians. I think that might be accurate. And I thought about that story, and it just made me realize like how me and the guy I'm seeing recently were talking about how water, oceans, is literally, there's nothing larger than like a body of water. Like even if you look at the map or if you look at a globe, it doesn't matter where North America is, where South America is, Africa, India, Australia, everything that's surrounding all of those areas and those continents is water. There's more water in the world. And like I was telling the guy that I'm seeing, I was like, if God wanted to wipe us out, he could literally pull a Noah's Ark on us. He could use water to wipe us out because there's enough water in regards to the body of water around all of the different continents to wipe everybody out. I said like outside of like a missile or nuclear weapon or something like that, or bombs or whatever, like water could wipe us out. So it's just like when you have an opportunity like I did to fly for so long across mostly water like I did for 14 hours and then for 5 hours, and just to understand that all of like what they say is really true, like all things work together for the good of those that love the Lord. Like for all of those steps